Here's the second part of the assignment, choosing an insurance broker. So, I took a few factors, I need at least three. A few factors to look at were age of the brokerage, aviation specific, services offered, and size of the brokerage. So, the reason these are so important, I'll start with the first one, is age of the brokerage. So, we want a brokerage that has been around and has experience. I mean, makes a lot of sense. We're a startup, so having someone established already in that realm can help guide us. They have a lot more experience. They might have connections that we might not know of. They may have, you know, just things that we've never even come in contact with, and so being partners with someone like that could really help jumpstart us into the industry, and we can really focus a lot more on other facets of our company if we can kind of give this to our brokerage and really be confident that they're going to do a good job and they're going to do it well. Like I said, they likely have built relationships that we haven't had time to. I mean, we're new. We You just can't do it in 1 year, 2 years. These things take time. Aviation specific. We want a brokerage that can work directly with underwriters. So we want an aviation specific one. We could have went and found a brokerage that was just pretty basic, wide overview, but we would have had to, dealt with two different companies kind of thing. And we'd much rather just work with one. So we just want to get rid of that level by just going with an aviation specific one. Just makes it a whole lot easier. Just a lot of stuff we don't need to deal with. Um, yeah, and also the aviation brokers have a lot more experience in that space and can bring some of that knowledge that other brokers might not be able to. Services offered. We want a brokerage that offers a wide variety of services while also being more lasered in on ones that are more pertinent to us. So being a charter company, we have things that are obviously a lot more important to us. We're not a regular pilot. We're not a CFI. We're an entire company, and we have different needs than someone who's just looking for regular insurance, on their Piper Archer or on their Cessna 172. So we need to take into account that we want someone who can cover all of our needs and can do it well. We want to minimize the risk, so extra coverage normally isn't a bad thing. So if that company is well versed in those areas, it makes their decision easier. We obviously want liability insurance, maintenance, we can get insurance on that, and basically just any other thing that might be pertinent to us. So some of the companies I've looked at, I'll talk about it later, but some of the companies or brokerages I looked at, I should say, they covered a lot of things, and we may not need all of them, but always having the option to reassess with our broker on what kind of insurance we want, and we can always update our insurance. So just having those options makes it way easier. So we don't need to change anything down the road. We can just, you know, talk to our broker, and they can get it fixed for us. Size of the brokerage. We are a startup company, but we obviously want to grow. That's what companies want to do. So we want a company that's large enough to handle our growth, but is also, small enough and uh, can just focus, on us, can give us some of that time, give us some of their effort, and can really make sure that things are done right. Yeah, a larger firm will have more specialists, which we're going to require because, we're not a Delta, we're not a United, we're a charter company. We have different needs. We're Part 135, so we just need to keep that in mind. So a couple of our options. We have Assured Partners Aerospace and Aviation Assurance. These were two of the better ones I found, and I put together positive and negatives for both. So Assured Partners Aerospace. Positives, it's aviation specific. They're really, laser focus on that aerospace. It's a large brokerage. They have a lot of services, but unfortunately, I found that they were pretty GA heavy. They had a few, commercial operators that they deal with, which is nice, but they also do a lot with CFI insurance, a lot with GA Insurance, and they're fairly new, 14 years old, formed in 2011. So that was kind of a big turnoff when I saw that. Um, but overall, they're a pretty good company, and they were an option. Aviation Assurance. So they were formed in 1983. When I saw that, they also had 156 years of experience combined for their aviation team. Um, for me, that seemed like a really big positive and kind of hard to beat. We need someone who's been in that realm for 40 plus years because we've been there for a year, maybe less. So they just know what to do, and they're gonna be able to get us started. They're just gonna give us a really big jump start. there. So the negative was, they are a pretty big company, so we may not get some of that attention we need. But I think, with the size of their brokerage and the amount of people that they have, I think, obviously we would have a interview with them. But if they were the right fit, I think they'd be perfect. Everything that I saw on their website and was informed about seemed pretty positive. So I just need to talk with some of the individual brokers and make sure that we're on the same page and are looking for the same things. So my decision is obviously aviation assurance. I just think they have too much experience to be overlooked, and they cover all we need. They said they've worked with startup companies all the way up to, really established, well looked upon companies. So I just think that they're definitely the better option for us. Um, so yeah, aviation assurance. Thank you.